Just want to show you, this is basically impact. Now, you're not going to see a massive difference in these two, okay? But this one, just based on how far the shaft is from the golf ball, shows quite a toey strike. I mean, that's basically the shaft there. That's catching the end of the golf club quite a lot. Where this is the shaft here, that's more the centre of the golf club, okay? And we can see as a result of your finish position, when it's not as committed or you're not quite sure. And again, we did move the camera, so whether your brain's I've got to carry all this water here, you then made a sort of a more negative swing. You can see the sort of finish position, that right foot hasn't really moved through, and then when you finish, you're kind of finishing there. The clubs would have to recoil back quite a bit. This one here now, when you swung through better, you turn through it more. Your chest is now almost facing, I guess, in some ways this way to left, and look at the foot up on its toe there, and the shot itself is sailed down the fairway, a much more efficient hit. So in terms of the stuff we do, setup now massively improved. You just look more comfortable with the golf ball. Posture's great, alignment's good, ball position's good, all the stuff we talked about in the last few lessons there, so we're doing a lot of good things there. I think in terms of length of backswing, the only knock I would say is on occasions it gets a little bit short. Now, because you've got a slightly shorter backswing, okay, if it gets shorter than that, your timing gets a little bit out of sync, and then you sort of force to whack it quite hard. And that, I think, could be a situation where maybe when you haven't warmed up as much, you kind of, and then it's like, ooh, and you try and come back a bit quicker. Jabby. Exactly, yeah. Imagine this is the situation you get, and you've probably had this before, no doubt we'll have it again in the future, where you're up against a tree or a hedge or something's behind you, and you're trying to get it back to the fairway, say 30 yards, and you know your backswing's restricted. You're sort of checking that, like, oh, how far back can I go? And you know you can only go back as far as the object in the way can allow you to do that, but your brain then goes, that's not enough power to get it to the fairway. And then if you go back and you try to add the power quickly, you probably top it about 4 yards in front of you,
I've noticed with my shorter clubs, if I consciously extend my backswing, I get a better result.
Yeah, exactly.
I really do.
Well, the thing is
and that it's just getting that commitment to do it.
And I think for me, in some ways, I think the key body part for you is that side of your body, your right shoulder down the right side of your torso to your right hip. When that rotates well and the club goes back here nicely, you complete your backswing fully, okay? As you then come back into the golf ball, things start working well, good strike of the ball, and then your right side turns through. So in effect, you can get as a feeling, and I would say it's hard to see from this side, but we know when we look at this, okay, your right shoulder is nearer the target than your left shoulder. Yeah. So you've taken your body position here now, you've got your right shoulder behind, and as you swung through, you got through, so the right shoulder feels a little bit nearer the target. When you stop, that to me now looks as though you're kind of aiming your chest. Right. And where'd the ball go? Exactly. Now, that doesn't always mean where your chest points, because what we saw on this one, after the ball leaked out to the right there, as we can see,
arms over and
you did exactly. And then when you use your hands and arms to square the club face up, rather than getting that one there, we get which is no good to anybody, okay? So you've almost got to have that memory, okay, right, if I get one that leaks out to the right, now again, it could be because you haven't warmed up properly, it could be because you're a bit nervous about the shot, a bit anxious, under pressure, fatigued, whatever it may be. There's loads of reasons why we might not move our body as well as we can. Is your posture got poor? That could be, if again, posture a few sessions ago, if you're having a bit of a bad day, it doesn't quite feel so good, or you just feel a bit kind of like the whole world on your shoulder, I know, things are just going wrong, like, oh God, here we go, and you feel a bit this way, your ability to rotate is going to be less, And then
I think I just got to consciously think about getting through the ball.
Yeah, exactly, but you've got to be in a position to do that, and I think have the confidence to do it. Just to say, just get through the ball is the easiest thing to say, but in reality to do it can be quite tricky, because if you're not fully committed, because you're worried about where it's going to go, or the outcome you see in the past could be, well, it could go over there, it could go over there, and this is why I say, well, at the moment now you're swinging it well, enjoy it, because
it'll go wrong at some point.
In time it's going to change it. But the key thing is, when it does start going wrong, don't let it sort of become nuclear and go completely all off the boil and you lose everything. Go, oh, hang on a second, I'm getting this, and then you become more aware of your own faults and characteristics. So if on the golf course, say, in the next sort of 3 or 4 weeks, we'll say you're still playing well and it's some nice shots, and you're scoring at the high 70s, low 80s, the game's nice. Then you have a couple of games where you might sort of shoot maybe like mid 80s and it doesn't quite feel so good. It's those positions where you go, right, okay, am I not doing X, Y, or Z? And you sort of know, rather than sort of let it linger and fall off a cliff, then you sort of shoot like 90 something, and oh my God, what's going on? And then your brain's frazzled, and then you're trying and then your confidence now is rock bottom. And the thing you're trying to do now is going to be even harder to do,
Yeah, I think I recognise now in myself that if I'm pushing it up to the right, it's probably because I'm lock it out to the right.
Generally, and again, not always the case, and not always the case over the goal, but for you specifically, where your chest finishes. Yeah, if you do this, that's where the ball's going to go.
Yeah.
Whether it stays out there or it that way, one or two things, But generally speaking, the body will dictate where the ball's going to go. Okay, and if you will there with that Hobart, then we'll go back through some other ones in the bag, okay? But I think that's definitely going to be a club you're going to get some use out of this year, just from teeing off on some holes. Get the ball in play, so it's going to be a fairway finder where you get your body moving better. Hit it more towards the target, okay, mate?